So I'm going to triple multitask this because I'm limited for time. And yeah, just trigger warning, I have a mumbling voice. And people are complaining about it again, so fuck off. I've done speech therapy, this is as good as it's gonna get. I have wonky teeth and there's no dentist that will look at it, so yeah. But anyway, this is about Occult Crescent in Final Fantasy XIV here. Let's show you what I mean. Where is it? Yoctorol. More like Yoctorol. And then in here. So, this is stupid to begin with. There's a quest chain, and then there's a quest within it, which I'm not a fan of. This is just bad. But the lack of a teleport here, let alone to the place itself, is just bad. Like, immediately I was just like, why? It's not a good design choice, to be honest. Like, I get there needs to be friction here and there, but this is unnecessary. Especially when given most of the game is convenient enough as it is with what it does. Like, I could literally just queue up for a dungeon right now and it's just, I just have to wait. But here, I have to literally walk all the way there, which takes about a minute or two, depending on how fast you're also using the Ethernet system. Then queue for the duty and then you're in. Once you're in though, you get to another problem. Other than just the story not being that interesting, which I was actually kind of looking forward to. Actually, weird fact, when I was going through the main story, I was like, oh, I'm interested in learning about this guy who shadowed the king. I forgot his name. Yeah, I was interested in him, and he just didn't have anything interesting here. There's literally nothing happening. And also, I forgot to mention disclaimer, this is my first endgame mode thing. I've not touched Eureka or Bosja, so don't expect anything like that. I'm sure I can prove that at field operations get blocked. That proves I'm not in that yet. But so for Frank's experience though, this is bad. Just to sum it up. And I very could be wrong about some things, and I did originally record something for this, but I deleted it because I wasn't happy with what I said in there and how unconstructive it was. It's more, I was in a meltdown and I was just not happy. I was quite angry. And given that I had it simply added to that. So the other problem when you get into this, I wonder if I can expand it. Yeah, I can. It might be more interesting. You have to unlock all the Ethernet shards manually. So other than doing these annoying quests, which require specific instructions, which you, by the way, can't really figure out, you have to look it up. That's the other issue. I forgot to mention in the other video that I deleted. But you have to go and manually pick these up, which I get short for exploration, but the fact you're walking everywhere is just fucking terrible. Like, it gets tiring after a while, and you just want to get there. Like, you just want to get to your location. The other problem is, despite the lack of way to level up, being only fates and critical encounters, which are also terrible because they reward barely anything, it ends up being impossible to level up because you get completely cockblocked by other areas, and I made it to 13 before getting my mount and quitting. Getting this one. There's also the shark mount. I forgot where that was. It's probably, yeah, there it is. The petals, whatever that is. But each area is divided into different sections, and you get knowledge level, like knowledge level 1 to 3, and then 3 to 5. But for some reason, the gap between 3 and 5 is so big that you can't actually take on anyone higher than that. And you don't even get any XP for it. Or knowledge points. Because it's replacing the XP, and you basically have to level up again. Which again doesn't make sense. Why not just let players play how they want to? It does lead into one good thing, but I am sort of on the fence about it as well. Phantom jobs. When you get into here, you get given a phantom job or a few, and I think you can a lot more, but I've not seen any in the few hours I played of this anyway. But they kind of suck. I think Monk is the only good DPS one, and the rest are just shit, really. They don't do anything. It's really embarrassing. And you know, I've seen endgame systems where they give you extra abilities and stuff, like World of Warcraft had a good idea with like Covenants, for example, but they balanced it poorly. And so you ended up with huge like disadvantages and stuff with certain Covenants, even though you wanted to be with them. So I consider that better executed than Phantom Jobs here. Just simply because Phantom Jobs you require to level up as well, on top of the knowledge system. Knowledge is basically combat XP stuff. Anyone wondering, it's like sort of replaces this, but not exactly. You keep all your abilities and gear, but you just level up damage and stats and stuff. That's all it does. And then the max level is 20. But yeah, you have to level up the Phantom Jobs as well, which is just so stupid. Like, why not just allow you to level it up quicker? Like, it takes so long to level up. I couldn't even finish Monk. I was on level 4 by the end. And I switched to Knight because I needed a defensive role and then heal as well. It just takes so long to level up. It's just not fun, it's not interesting. And yeah, also forgot to mention, as you go to these areas, and I managed to unlock most of them anyway, I got all the shards, but I didn't explore. They're split up into levels, as I said, and then they go into higher levels every now and then. So 3 to 5, and then here's like 6 to 8, I think, and here's like 8 to 10. For some reason here it's like 10 to 12, and then suddenly it jumps from like 12 to 14 here. And then randomly there's like no 15s anywhere, no 15s to 17s, it's just there's 16s here and then there's like 20s, no 16s here and then 20s over here, which is fucking weird. How do you level up? But even then, like, fates don't reward enough, and critical encounters don't reward enough either. So it feels extremely backwards. But that leads on to another issue, of all things. Lack of a grouping system, because you can't just open this and get into a group. Unless there's one there for it, but even then you have to ask in game, which, fair enough. As a social matter, but when you suddenly can't find any, it's like, oh, is someone busy or are they ignoring you? Because you can't actually invite during combat for some reason, which is also really fucking stupid. Because some players will be doing critical encounters, which take anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. Like, it's very long for supposedly an encounter. So it's just very unbalanced and not very fun as a result. So the grouping system is broken. Not to mention, with how divided players are, like some of them will go for fates only, and some of them will go for encounters. And that causes a divide in the groups because you end up with players appearing in random places, like even ones who late join. So you got some doing fates, and you're like, oh, I'm the only one in the critical encounter? What the fuck? What gives? Like, why isn't there a group for that? Like, I don't get it. That's why you kind of need the group system to be on there, the group finder. You need it to cater to these specific types of players, and there's one other thing I'll get onto soon. I'll just get onto it now. There's a thing called pots, and they're like a critical encounter, but they give you treasure, which gives you gold pieces, which you can buy for. You can get orchestration rolls with them, and there's only 2. They cost 1,600 each, and you get 200 from each treasure, I think. I only managed to do 1. they're so rare and so inconsistent that you can't actually get them. Also, fates are just done too quickly with the groups, and the critical encounters are too slow. There's a weird imbalance there, but I just fucking detest the fact that fates are so quickly run through that by the time you get there, you end up losing out. And also, to get faster in this place, you need a riding map, which costs 3,000 fucking silver pieces. Like, are you kidding me? Why is this a thing? Remove it. It's just fucking stupid. And this also adds to like toxicity and creates a divide on the player base. Like, what the hell? The fact someone could race you to this, like, if you camp here at the ETH shop, which you can return to whenever you want. Say encounter appears there. Okay, you immediately click it and all of you spawn, but then you got other players just going, then you just snail's pace. And you end up missing it because everyone who's there, and there's so many players, they kill it in fucking seconds. You almost never get a chance to do it, and there's also a weird system here where it doesn't scale. So what ends up happening is, I've seen it here a lot actually, it's only in the mod band I've really missed out on a lot. But you go here, everyone does their thing, and obviously the ones with the riding map zoom off. But by the time you get to the top with your non-riding map, it's already dead. Like, what the fuck is the deal with that? It's just absolutely baffling. No game developer would design something like that. I'm almost convinced this is made by AI. It's that bad. Trying to think, there are some other issues, like treasure maps are scattered across the place and you don't have a way to locate them. I don't know if it requires progress in the story, but at that point I just don't give a shit. I'd just rather discover them. It's a waste of time anyway, because you only need it for dementia, which is dementia. No, diamond. I've got it in my backpack, haven't I? Yeah. Demi-atma, that's it. I don't know if I need dementia. Anyway. You need it for that, and I don't know how you find them. They just seem random. Well, I got my mount from a structure somewhere. I can't remember what it was. It was definitely a structure. We just rode off it. It's something like that, but it might have been this actually. Yeah, it looks like a structure, but it's weird. I'm not a fan of it. And the lack of a way to locate them just adds to that. And even then, like, you might be saying that, oh, but you can locate them with a phantom job that I don't have. Where's the phantom job? That I'm looking and there's nothing there. There's only a freelancer, and that's the only one with any sort of different abilities to combat phantom job. So, yeah, that's the problem. There's withholding of information again, and that's just leading to much more frustration. I guess next thing to talk about is, I guess, the difficulty of facing, well, not necessarily fates, but encounters, but there is weird inconsistencies. There's one around here that gives you these eye things that you have to look away from or look into. But it's so difficult to do because it's so hard to time. Like, you can't tell. You know, if it was like a longer duration between them, but you can't. It's like three in quick succession. You're like, let's show you, like, okay, look away. Oh, you need to look. You need to look away now. It's like, oh, fuck off. It's just so bad. The balancing is terrible. And then you got critical encounters which are far worse. I try to remember them. One here was quite fun but too long because it was like an AoE thing, but you had to avoid various obstacles. I did that first try, somehow without a single death. That was fun. I had this crazy moment where it just spins with these cross AoEs, which is just, wow. I found that fun. There's a tilt-up one here that's also pretty fun. There's one here with the birds which I don't find very fun because it's memory related. I'm not good with memory. There's one here that's like, did that one actually, that's the last one I ever did. It spawned like bombs and stuff and demons. It wasn't very fun. I died several times. I'm going to read it. There's one here which I did once and did fine, but then we did it again later, which was required for one of the quests, by the way. Stupid that is a fucking quest for it, by the way. Why? That's just ridiculous. Why a quest tied to that RNG shit? Just go away. At least allow you to initiate it or something like the society quests do. Or some of them can anyway. No, wait, it's just normal quests. I forgot society quests are actually RNG, but even then it's like quick respawns and stuff. But yeah, you need this one, and the second time we did it, pretty much everyone was dead towards the 1% mark, and then the boss did an AoE and wiped out the tanks, and we lost. What did we get for it? For losing? Nothing. We all fucking died. People in the chat were asking for like respawns. Also another thing about that I'll go into. But we fucking lost and we didn't get a single thing for it. No knowledge, no gold pieces, no silver. Like, why? You know, for fates you even get stuff if you don't complete it or just fail. So why? And the fact you can't even attempt it again or even start from that point, like, it's so bad. And also, it's not balanced properly because in these groups you get players playing either tank or DPS a lot of the time. It's quite rarely you find a healer, and even then the healer needs to be experienced to do it, which is again the problem with the difficulty. And it can be very hard to read sometimes, and I just hated that one. It's mainly just like running on seals and avoiding AoE shit, and it's also really hard to time as well. So yeah, players will die on that often. And then there's a critical encounter. There's two actually. There's one here and one here. I can't remember this one exactly. I just remembered another one, but I can't remember what that was. One there, but I remember this one. It's got like the monster that does like claw stuff. It's quite interesting. I think mechanically it's alright. It's fairly easy to read, but there are moments where it's a bit like but it's a memory game as well, because you need to somehow figure out where the safe spots are for each call thing. Yeah, there's like some good bits and some bad. But it ties into the next thing I was going to say. If you die and respawn, you lose knowledge points, which means you go down a level over time anyway. And fates only reward a small portion of that, which is just fucking. It's just why it's so badly designed. Again, this is why I think it's designed by AI. Again, no human would design something like that. It's inconvenient, it's extremely punishing, and it's just extremely toxic. Because it means other players' failures will lead to yours. It's like a snowball effect, again, like a critical encounter system will be. And it will lead you to pretty much lose all your knowledge XP over time if you fail enough. You can make it back up if you group, but even then, I just don't like the fact you can lose levels just because you fucking died to another player's mistake. Oh, it's just ridiculous. It's exploitable and it's toxic, just objectively so. It's different, I guess, when you compare it to something like a Trial or Savage Raid. Still, it's bad. Is there anything else? Trying to think, there must be something else to talk about there. I think I've actually covered everything, believe it or not. yeah, I don't think there's anything else really. Well, it's just not good content, to be honest, and I don't want to play it ever again now I've got the mounts. It's just not worth it. There's nothing there for me. I don't care about the relic weapons. I'm fine with heliometry ones. I don't see any difference in the damage. This is one of the weird things about the game as well. I forgot to mention this a while ago in the review. People are saying that this is important because it means you do more damage and have a bit bigger stats. Problem is, the chest is bigger. So, what is the deal with this? Like, why the hell is this so important that players are saying that but are not proving it? But when I see that there's an increase in damage, supposedly, players that were on the Final Fantasy XIV subreddit were saying it's more important than anything else. So, for example, like Summoner's Historia weapon. And apparently this will do more damage. It says there magic damage plus 4. That's pretty universal anyway for these types of weapons. And what's attack? Yeah, delay? What's the delay? I never noticed that before. Oh, is that between the auto attacks? What does it say auto attack damage? That's weird. But yeah, it says that, and I've looked it up. There's no proof. I couldn't see anyone comparing it. Like, nobody comparing, like, say, heliometry to Historia. I've considered doing it myself. Just naked, like to see, but I'm not so sure. To be honest, it is bizarre that players are making these comparisons and players are grinding out for a relic weapon when I haven't seen any proof that it does any difference. Like, I had a heliometry weapon anyway on Summoner, and I was outputting the same amount of damage. And to be honest, I could actually test it on Viper at some point. I might do that because I want to gear up Viper and Ninja. When I do get a Ninja anyway, because I need a melee DPS. But it's extremely weird, and this is the thing with the endgame. There are a lot of secrets withheld from you. Sometimes you can look it up, but other times you can't. And something like this, again, it should be more obvious. But it's not. There isn't any proof. And yeah, like the relic weapons make no sense to me, other than glamour, but there's no glamour worth it in this one, this expansion anyway. So I just won't bother. I guess I've said everything I can about Occult Crescent. I'm just not happy with the system. It's not fun, it's not interesting, it's just miserable. And really, the only points you can have fun in it, again, has to do with the rare critical encounters that have good mechanics. Like, shopping for the fucking turtles, hilarious. Like, I would see more of that. But I just don't like it. It's not well designed, in my opinion. It will vary between person to person or player to player, whoever. But the only thing I can really hope for here is that the developers do make changes to it. And the thing is, I haven't even gone on to the supposed raid. I want to get onto that at some point. I'm dreading what it's going to take. Apparently this is from it. I'm not sure though. Maybe it's misinformation. But I do not want to go through this shit again. There's so many other things I need to do and so many better things to do for that matter. I could just do old quests, which I have been trying to do anyway. See here, maybe not. Some main quests. Side quests, there they are. Bloody hell. Yeah, there they are. But yeah, I've been going through those slowly. It's interesting. It shows you like how interesting the world can be. There's sometimes some stories there. It's something I'd rather do rather than Occult Crescent. And the thing is, I've got limited time as well. This is the other thing with Occult Crescent, like, and most of the game in general. The grind is fine if it's within reach. But to players like me or even someone who works, that will be extremely difficult because it means that you're excluded from a lot of content for just simply being a busy person. And that's not what many gamers want to be faced with. This is like live service tuner essentially. Because it's literally a grind for the sake of a grind rather than having fun. And that's really my problem with this. Like, why can't everyone get an extreme mount from doing it once in the relevant content? And why are things like so hard to get? It just makes no sense. I just struggle to wrap my head around it at this point. It's just baffling. There are like other issues like that here. Like, where the fuck are the other battle passes? Like, can I go to a previous season, please? Like, where the fuck is it? It's just so badly designed. Again, I'm almost convinced an AI designed some of this. Because it's obvious if you played this and played it through, you'd see the problems pop up and you would address them. And you know, if not address them, then you'd actually go out there and admit it, really. You'd say what the problem is. You'd say that you're right. But that's currently not the case, and that's not helping things at all. And you know, I need to do shit like this still. And yeah, I'm scared to because there's going to be a barrier to entry and not only learning it, but also probably participating in it as well. What was that? Duty complete? Yeah, it was. Fuck. So again, like this sort of thing is like, you either need to be good at the game or you're fucked. That's basically what it is now. And for some reason the player base can't admit this, but that is literally what's going on. It's not very new player friendly in areas. It's like practice, like sure, that's fine. And that's what we need to see more of, but when it's like, you need to be experienced to even do something like this, for example, it's like, that's a big turn off. And the grind to get that even to ensure everyone gets the same fucking thing, same amount or whatever. It's just tedious, and nobody wants to do that. I don't know anybody that's ever complimented it. And it has made me feel like I'm alienated from the game, and I just don't belong here. Because people were saying, before I even played the game, they were saying it's like the least grindy game there is. And that turned out to be fake. They're also saying it's the most player-friendly game there is. That's not all true. It's not true at all. Especially when you look at some of the mechanics and some of the tutorials, which are a lack of. And there's no like savage raiding tutorials, which I find bizarre because they're really important. Because like there's some basic things you grasp from it anyway, from the ones I've done anyway. Like you get invisible, unmarked mechanics which matter. Like you need to learn to spread, you need to learn to group, you need to learn to bait, for example. And you also need to learn how to match things. There's various things like that. I haven't touched it, yeah, for the relevant content. Like these, for example. But I have done it for the these ones, Endwalker, not the 12th one, this one. I've done the Mountain Farm for 4th Circle and 8th Circle, I've done all of Shadowbringers, and eventually I'll do, say all I'm in the mountains, but eventually I'll do Stormblood and Heaven's Ward, and I won't even touch Bahamut because there's nothing there, there's no reason to do it, but it's just so bafflingly bad. I just don't like that you have to grind so much shit. It's a turn off, and it does make me wonder whether I should redirect my priorities from something like mount farming to just exploring. If exploring really being the point here, like I just stop playing the way I have been for the past few months and just go questing, go Golden Saucer, see what's there, like see what I like, and continue that. I like leveling up classes and learning them. Although it takes too long as well. It shouldn't be. I should be getting more XP. It's taken so long. It's just taken like almost a month to get to this point with all these on levels at the moment. It's frustrating as hell. I don't really get why it's designed this way. It doesn't even need to be this long, that's a weird thing. Like you could literally just do it one level per roulette, and then you'll have it done in a matter of weeks. So I don't get what gives. Why can't this just be simpler? Why does everything have to be complicated? It's another thing I don't get. And that's really why I don't like Occult Crescent either. It's a grind on top of a grind on top of a grind. And you have the chance to lose and gain nothing in the end. Meaning your effort's wasted and there's no point. Yeah, that's how not to design a game. I've said all I can and yeah, leave it at that. I know that players will disagree, but I'm a casual player, I'm not hardcore. So it doesn't care, I don't care that content is difficult or anything. I just care that my time's being wasted. And I just want to get it over and done with in the end. Like, again, it's a matter of like, how was it, not players collide, I don't know, like, just different objectives and stuff just colliding, different goals. And that just creates a divide because you end up with players who are serious about, for example, reading. But then you have players serious about, or maybe the brother group actually. Then you have players serious about getting the map, like I was, and we're not the same. So we get different experience and we get different issues from that. You know, I've been blocked multiple times from the 8th Circle Savage because of a player who seemed out to get me and Square Enix investigated and didn't find anything, which is weird because it seemed like players were blocking me because I was blocked again after that. And that wasn't something I wanted to have happen in my depressed state because I was already quite unstable. They didn't seem to give a shit. Instead they posted me in a generic suicide hotline garbage, which has never helped me in the past. I doubt it'll help me now. So that's where we're at with this, like, scummy game design, breeds scummy players. That's the scenario here. Thanks for listening. See everyone another time.